Welcome back to the channel Rare Coins All World, where we explore the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we have a real gem to talk about, something that you might have overlooked in your spare change or your coin collection, a coin that could be worth a staggering $45,000. That's right, the 1981 US quarter dollar. Stick with us as we uncover the story behind this unassuming coin and reveal just how much it's worth. You won't want to miss this. Host holds up a 1981 quarter to the camera, showing it off with a smile. Host, now, you might be thinking, it's just a quarter, right? Well, let me tell you, it's not just any quarter. This one's special, and today, I'm going to show you exactly why. Cut to a montage of 1980s America, scenes of pop culture, politics, and economic life during the early 1980s. Host, before we dive into why the 1981 US quarter is so valuable, let's take a quick step back in time to understand the historical context. The early 1980s were a time of economic turbulence in the United States, with high inflation and rising interest rates. But amidst all the economic challenges, the US Mint continued to issue coins, including the 1981 quarter. Close-up of the 1981 quarter, showing the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse. Host, designed by John Flanagan, the Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932. The 1981 issue was part of the series that continued to honor George Washington, featuring his profile on the obverse side and an eagle on the reverse. The 1981 quarter was produced in large numbers for general circulation, but something special about this coin sets it apart from the rest. Host zooms in on a magnifying glass placed over the 1981 quarter, showing its fine details. Host, so, what makes the 1981 US quarter such a hot commodity? It all comes down to a rare minting error, one that occurred and the minting process went wrong in a very unique way. A small number of 1,981 quarters were struck with a double die error, which makes the coin a highly sought-after collectible. Cut to an animation showing how a double die error occurs in the minting process. Host, double die errors occur when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or damaged. This causes the design to be stamped twice, resulting in a blurry or overimprinted image. In the case of the 1981 quarter, the double die error was most noticeable in the inscriptions on the obverse, especially in the letters of Liberty and the date, 1981. Close-up of a 1981 quarter with the double die error clearly visible. Host, take a look at this. You can clearly see how the letters and the date have a double strike, giving them a blurry, overlapping look. This type of error doesn't happen every day, which is why collectors are so eager to get their hands on these quarters. Cut to a scene where a coin expert is using a loupe to closely examine a 1981 quarter with the double die error. Host, now, you might be wondering, why are these double die error coins so valuable? Well, the simple answer is rarity. Minting errors like this don't occur very often, and when they do, the coins that are affected are usually removed from circulation or melted down. That means the number of surviving 1981 double die quarters is extremely limited. Host shows a comparison between a normal 1981 quarter and a double die error quarter. Host, see how the lettering on this coin is all doubled? This is the key feature that sets it apart. Most 1981 quarters you find in your pocket change won't have this error. But when you find one with the double die, it's a collector's dream. Cut to a fast-paced montage of collectors bidding at an auction, with auctioneer voices in the background. Host, when it comes to coins with errors, the demand is huge. Collectors go crazy for coins that have these unique features. Error coins are one-of-a-kind pieces, and because the 1981 double die quarter is so rare, it has become one of the most sought-after coins from that year. Host holds up a graded 1981 double die quarter in a protective case. Host, coins with double die errors are highly prized, and if you find one in excellent condition, you could be holding onto a small fortune. The more pristine the coin, the more valuable it is to collectors, especially when it's professionally graded. Cut to a dramatic scene of an auctioneer hammering down the final price on a 1981 double die quarter. Host, so, how much could your 1981 quarter with the double die error be worth? Well, the value can vary depending on the quality and condition of the coin, but let me tell you, it's big money. In mint condition, a 1981 double-die quarter can fetch an incredible $45,000. Host holds up the 1981 quarter, grinning widely at the camera. Host, that's right, $45,000 for a single quarter. Imagine finding a coin that's worth over $40,000, just sitting in your collection or your change jar. It's not just a coin, it's an investment. Cut to the host standing at a table, with several 1981 quarters laid out. Host begins to demonstrate how to identify the double die error. Host, now, you're probably wondering how to spot this rare double die error. It's actually pretty simple once you know what to look for. Start by examining the letters and numbers on the coin. On a normal 1981 quarter, the text will be clear and sharp, but on a double die error coin, you'll see the letters and numbers shifted or doubled. Most notably, check the date and the word Liberty. These areas are where the double die error will be most visible. Host zooms in with a magnifying glass to show the double die error clearly on the coin. Host, see how the 1 and 9 in the date are slightly doubled, and how the L and I in Liberty have a clear distortion? That's the key feature. Make sure to use a magnifying glass or loupe to really inspect the coin. A careful examination can save you from missing out on a potentially valuable find. Cut to the host sifting through a box of old coins, with a look of determination on their face. Host, remember, coin collecting is all about finding those hidden treasures in the most unlikely places. Whether you're going through your change jar, a box of old coins, or even a batch of quarters from your local bank, always take the time to check each one. You never know when you'll come across a rare and valuable error coin, like the 1981 double die quarter. Host stands, smiling and holding up the 1981 double die quarter in a protective display case. Host, and that's a wrap for today's coin hunt. If you have a 1981 quarter, be sure to check it for the double die error. It could be worth an unbelievable $45,000. Today, now 2010 quarter could be worth a jaw-dropping $48,000. You heard me right, $48,000 for just one quarter. Stick with me, because in this video, we're going to dive deep into why this coin is worth so much, and how you could find one in your own collection. Host holds up a 2010 quarter to the camera with a knowing grin. Host, yes, it's a 2010 US quarter, and it's hiding a secret. Let's uncover this coin's history and why it's so valuable. Cut to a historical montage of American life in the year 2010, scenes of people, news headlines, and economic events of the time. Host, to understand why the 2010 quarter is so special, let's first take a quick look back at the year 2010. It was a pivotal time for the United States. The country was still recovering from the Great Recession, and a wave of new designs was being introduced in the America the Beautiful Quarter program. This program, which began in 2010, was meant to honor the national parks and landmarks of America, replacing the state quarter program that had run from 1999 to 2008. Close-up of the 2010 quarter, showing the design of Yosemite National Park on the reverse. Host, the 2010 quarters marked the beginning of this new chapter in U.S. coinage. The first set of quarters in this new program was released, and each featured a unique design representing a famous American landmark. One of the most well-known releases from this year was the Yosemite National Park quarter, which is the focus of today's coin discovery. The camera zooms in on a magnifying glass placed over a 2010 Yosemite quarter, highlighting the intricate details of the coin. Host, so, what makes the 2010 Yosemite quarter so valuable? Well, it all comes down to a rare minting error, and when I say rare, I mean extremely rare. Some of the 2010 Yosemite quarters were struck with a misaligned die error, causing a portion of the design to be off-center. This error is not easy to spot, but when you find one, it's a real treasure. Cut to an animation showing how a misaligned die occurs during the minting process. Host, misaligned die error happens when the die used to strike the coin is off-center, which causes the design on the coin to appear slightly shifted or skewed. In the case of the 2010 Yosemite quarter, this error results in part of the design being cut off, or in some cases, the Yosemite design being nearly doubled. Close-up of a 2010 Yosemite quarter with the misaligned die error clearly visible. Host, take a look at this example. See how the design seems shifted? This kind of error causes part of the coin to be blank while other parts are overstruck, giving it a very distinct, unusual appearance. If you come across a 2010 Yosemite quarter with this error, it could be worth a lot of money. Cut to a scene of the host holding a magnifying glass up to another coin. Host, so, why does a simple misaligned die make the 2010 quarter so valuable? It's all about rarity. Minting errors like this don't happen often, and when they do, they're usually pulled from circulation or destroyed before they ever make it into the hands of collectors. The fact that these 2010 misaligned die quarters have managed to survive, let alone make it into the hands of collectors, makes them incredibly rare and valuable. The host holds up a regular 2010 Yosemite quarter for comparison, showing the clear difference. Host, here's a standard 2010 Yosemite quarter with a clear, well-struck design, just like the ones you see in circulation. But notice how the misaligned die error causes the design on the error coin to be slightly offset. This kind of minting flaw is what sets the coin apart and makes it a must-have for collectors. Cut to footage of an intense coin auction, where collectors are bidding enthusiastically. Host, as any serious collector will tell you, mint error coins are highly sought after. The rarity of these mistakes, combined with their unique, one-of-a-kind characteristics, makes them highly desirable to anyone who's passionate about coin collecting. And when you're dealing with a quarter from such a famous series, like the America the Beautiful quarters, the demand is even higher. Cut to a collector examining a 2010 Yosemite quarter with a loop. Host, just look at the attention these coins get when they're up for sale. Even a small error like a misaligned die can dramatically increase the value of the coin. So, if you have one of these quarters in your collection, you're sitting on a potential goldmine. Cut to a dramatic scene of a coin auction with a high bid being placed. Host, now, let's get to the exciting part. How much could your 2010 Yosemite quarter with a misaligned die error be worth? Well, if you happen to find one of these rare error coins in excellent condition, you could be looking at a staggering $48,000. Host holds up a 2010 Yosemite quarter in a protective display case, with a wide smile. Host, that's right, $48,000 for a single quarter. For a coin that was only worth 25 cents when it was originally minted, this is a serious return on investment. Cut to the host demonstrating how to check a 2010 quarter for the misaligned die error using a magnifying glass. Host, so, how do you identify a 2010 Yosemite quarter with the misaligned die error? First, you'll want to look carefully at the design. Focus on the wording around the edge, like Liberty and the date, as well as the Yosemite design on the reverse. If you notice that the lettering is shifted or that parts of the design are missing, you might have a rare error coin on your hands. Zoom in on a misaligned die 2010 quarter, showing the doubled design and shifted text. Host, also, make sure the coin is in decent condition. While worn error coins can still have some value, the more pristine the coin, the higher the value. So, always handle your coins carefully and store them in protective cases to preserve their condition. Cut to the host rummaging through a drawer of old coins, inspecting them closely with a magnifying glass. Host, coin collecting is all about finding hidden treasures, and you never know when you'll stumble across a valuable error coin in your collection or spare change. The 2010 Yosemite quarter is just one example of how a small, overlooked coin could turn out to be worth a small fortune. Host stands smiling, holding the 2010 Yosemite quarter in its protective display case. Host, and that's it for today's exciting discovery. If you have a 2010 Yosemite quarter, make sure to check it for that misaligned die error. It could be worth $48,000, imagine that, just for a quarter. Today, I've got something truly special to share with you, a US quarter that could be worth a whopping $52,000. Sounds too good to be true? Well, stick around, because I'm about to reveal why this 2016 US quarter could be sitting on a small fortune, and how you might find one. Host holds up a 2016 US quarter, showing it to the camera with a mysterious grin. Host: that's right, a 2016 quarter. It may look like a regular coin, but there's a twist. So let's dive in and discover what makes this coin so rare and valuable. Cut to a montage of 2016, scenes of American life, the economy, and major events of the year. Host: to understand what makes the 2016 quarter so special, let's take a step back to the year 2016. The U.S. Mint was deep into its America the Beautiful Quarter program, which had been running since 2010. This program, designed to honor America's most iconic national parks and landmarks, featured unique reverse designs each year. And in 2016, the featured park was none other than National Park of American Samoa. Close-up of the 2016 National Park of American Samoa Quarter. Host: the 2016 National Park of American Samoa Quarter was issued as part of this ongoing series, and it depicted an image of a Samoan fruit bat hanging from a tree. It was the 34th coin released in the program, and its design drew attention for featuring the rare and endangered species of bat native to the islands. Host holds the coin up to the camera, pointing to the reverse design. Host: as beautiful as the design is, this quarter is more than just a tribute to the bat or the national park. There's a rare and unique twist that has caught the eye of collectors, a minting error that makes certain 2016 quarters worth an incredible amount of money. Cut to a close-up of the quarter as the camera zooms in, highlighting the intricate design of the coin. Host: so, what's the catch with the 2016 quarter? The key lies in a mint error, and not just any mint error, but one that is extremely rare and has caused these quarters to skyrocket in value. Some 2016 quarters were struck with a partial die clash, meaning the obverse, front, and reverse, back, dies of the coin clashed with each other during the minting process, causing an imprint of the reverse design to appear on the obverse side. Cut to an animation showing how a die clash occurs during the minting process. Host: here's how it happens. During the minting process, the obverse die, which contains the image of George Washington, accidentally makes contact with the reverse die before the coin is struck. This results in part of the reverse design, like the fruit bat or the tree, imprinting onto the obverse side of the coin, often near Washington's portrait or along the edge. Host shows a close-up of a 2016 quarter with the die clash error. Host: take a look at this one. Notice how you can see parts of the bat's wing on the obverse side of the coin, overlapping with Washington's image. This error is subtle, but it's exactly what makes these 2016 quarters so valuable. Cut to a coin expert examining the error coin through a magnifying glass. Host: now, you might be wondering, why is this die clash so significant? Well, die clash errors are rare to begin with, and when they happen, they're often only found in small numbers, if at all. In this case, the number of 2016 quarters with this die clash is exceptionally low, making them highly sought after by collectors. Host compares a regular 2016 quarter with the die clash error coin, showing the difference. Host: while most of the 2016 American Samoa quarters came out of the mint with the standard design, these rare die clash coins were a result of an error in the minting process. Because of this, they are extremely rare and highly collectible. The more unusual and unique the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. Cut to footage of a coin auction, where collectors eagerly bid on rare error coins. Host: as any seasoned coin collector knows, rare mint errors are like gold in the world of numismatics. When a coin like this one, featuring a die clash error, makes its way to an auction, collectors will stop at nothing to add it to their collection. The demand for these kinds of coins is through the roof, which is what drives their prices up to astronomical levels. Host holds up the error coin in a protective display case, pointing at it excitedly. Host: that's right, error coins like these often command top dollar, especially when they're in high demand and in good condition. A coin with a unique error, like this 2016 quarter, can be the crown jewel of any collection. Cut to a dramatic scene of a coin auction with bidders placing high offers on error coins. Host: so, let's get to the real question. How much is a 2016 National Park of American Samoa quarter with a die clash error worth? If you find one of these rare quarters in great condition, you could be looking at a value of a staggering $52,000. Host holds the coin in a protective case with a wide smile. Host, that's right, $52,000 for just one 2016 quarter with a die clash error. For a coin that started out as just a regular quarter worth 25 cents, that's an incredible return on investment. Cut to the host examining a 2016 quarter with a loop, showing the signs of a die clash error. Host, now, how do you identify if you've got one of these rare die clash error quarters? It's all about carefully inspecting the obverse side of the coin. Check around the edge and near George Washington's portrait for any signs of additional design elements, such as part of the bat's wing or tree branches from the reverse side. Zoom in on the coin, showing the partial die clash. Host, use a magnifying glass or loupe to get a closer look at the details. And make sure the coin is in good condition. Error coins in pristine, uncirculated condition are far more valuable than worn coins, so be careful when handling your finds. Cut to the host going through a drawer of old coins, inspecting them closely with a magnifying glass. Host, coin collecting is all about finding hidden treasures, and you never know where that treasure could be hiding. Whether you're sorting through your spare change, going through a box of old coins, or browsing a flea market, you might just stumble upon one of these rare 2016 quarters with a die clash error. So always keep an eye out, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Host stands with a smile, holding the 2016 quarter in a protective display case. Host, and that's it for today's exciting coin discovery. If you've got a 2016 National Park of American Samoa quarter, be sure to check for that die clash error. It could be worth $52,000. Today, we have an incredible find that will make you double-check every quarter you've ever had in your collection, the 2014 US quarter dollar. Now, this coin might seem like just another standard quarter, but what if I told you that it could be worth an astonishing $56,000? Host holds up a 2014 quarter and shows it to the camera, giving a playful smile. Host, that's right, a single 2014 quarter could be worth a small fortune. Stick around to learn why this quarter has become a hot commodity among collectors and how you might be able to cash in on this rare treasure. Cut to black and white footage of American life in 2014, images of the economy, significant events, and the American landscape. Host, to understand why the 2014 quarter is worth so much, let's first look at the history of this coin. The year 2014 was part of the U.S. Mint's America the Beautiful Quarter program, which started in 2010 and continued through 2021. This program celebrated national parks and landmarks across the United States by featuring unique reverse designs on quarters each year. Cut to close-up of the 2014 quarter showing the reverse design of the Great Sand Dunes National Park. Host, the 2014 quarter features Great Sand Dunes National Park in Colorado. The design depicts a figure sandboarding on the towering sand dunes, with the mountains and the park's famous sand dunes in the background. It's a beautiful coin, but it's not just the design that makes this quarter so valuable, it's the extremely rare mint error that has caused its worth to skyrocket. Cut to a close-up of the quarter as the camera zooms in on its details. The host holds a magnifying glass over the coin. Host, so, what's the deal with the 2014 quarter? Well, it all comes down to a mint error, and not just any error. Some 2014 quarters were struck with a rare double die obverse error, where the obverse side, the side with George Washington's portrait, was struck twice, creating a distorted and doubled image. This error happens when the die used to stamp the coin is misaligned or malfunctions, causing the design to be impressed onto the coin more than once. Host zooms in on a quarter with the double die error, highlighting the doubled image of Washington's face. Host, take a look at this. See how Washington's face, the lettering, and the date are all slightly doubled? That's the telltale sign of a double die obverse error. These errors occur when the die shifts slightly between strikes, and while they might sound common, they're actually incredibly rare, especially for a modern coin like the 2014 quarter. Cut to a professional numismatist examining a coin under a loupe in a lab setting. Host, why does this make the coin so valuable? It's all about rarity. While mint errors happen from time to time, double die errors are especially sought after by collectors because they are so difficult to find. Modern US coins, especially quarters, are usually struck multiple times to ensure that the design is clear and detailed. But every once in a while, a slight mistake during the minting process can lead to a doubled image, an error that was overlooked by the mint but is now highly prized. Host shows a normal 2014 quarter side by side with a double die error coin. Host on a regular 2014 quarter, the design will be sharp and clear, with no doubling. But when you find a double die error coin, the image becomes distorted, sometimes more than once, making the coin even more unique. These kinds of errors are extremely rare, which is why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. Cut to footage of a high-energy coin auction where enthusiastic collectors are bidding for rare coins. Host, coin collectors are always on the lookout for unique finds like this. The world of numismatics is all about finding rare and unusual coins, and when one of these double die 2014 quarters surfaces, collectors go crazy. Auction houses and online marketplaces often see bidding wars for coins with mint errors like this. And because only a few of these error coins were made, the demand is sky high. Host holds up a 2014 quarter with a double die error in a protective case, smiling excitedly. Host, these rare coins can be the crown jewel of a collection. A coin that was originally worth just 25 cents can be sold for thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, depending on its condition and the rarity of the error. Cut to a dramatic close-up of an auction paddle being raised and bids being placed on a rare coin. Host, so, how much could your 2014 quarter with the double die error be worth? While the value can vary depending on condition and where it's sold, a well-preserved 2014 double die obverse quarter has been known to sell for an astounding $56,000. Host holds up the coin with a smile, emphasizing the dollar amount. Host, yes, you heard that right, $56,000 for a single 2014 quarter with a double die error. For a coin that originally circulated at 25 cents, that's a return on investment that most collectors can only dream of. Cut to the host carefully examining a 2014 quarter with a loupe, showing the viewers where to look for the doubling. Host, now, let's talk about how you can spot one of these rare double die error quarters. First, you'll want to carefully inspect the obverse side of the coin, particularly around George Washington's portrait, the date, and the lettering. The doubled design can often be seen around the edges of Washington's face, his hair, and even the letters of Liberty or In God We Trust. Zoom in on the coin, showing the doubling effect clearly. Host, use a magnifying glass or loupe to get a closer look. This is crucial, as the doubling can sometimes be faint or hard to notice with the naked eye. Also, pay attention to the overall condition of the coin. Mint errors are valuable, but they're even more valuable when they're in great condition. Cut to the host searching through a box of old coins, inspecting them one by one. Host, coin collecting is about finding those hidden treasures, and sometimes, those treasures are sitting right in front of you. You don't have to be a professional to find valuable coins. Whether it's a box of spare change, a collection you inherited, or a few coins you've had lying around for years, always make sure to check for rare errors like this one. You never know when you'll stumble upon a coin worth thousands of dollars. Host stands in front of the camera, smiling, holding the 2014 double die error quarter in its protective case. Host, and there you have it, folks. The 2014 double die obverse quarter, a truly rare find that could be worth $56,000. If you think you've got one of these treasures in your collection, it's definitely worth getting it professionally graded and appraised. I hope this video helped you spot the next big coin jackpot. Today, we have a truly incredible find that you won't want to miss, the 2015 US quarter dollar. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a quarter, right? But hold on to your seats, because this little coin could be worth $59,000. Yes, you heard that right, $59,000 for a single 2015 quarter. Stick around, and let me show you why this quarter is more valuable than you might think. Host holds up a 2015 quarter to the camera with a playful smile. host. Let's take a closer look at why this 2015 quarter has become a rare treasure in the world of coin collecting. Cut to a montage of images showcasing America's landmarks and the events of 2015, scenes from national parks and the design process of the coin, host. Before we get into what makes the 2015 quarter so valuable, let's take a step back and talk about its design. The 2015 quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarter program, which began in 2010. This program honored U.S. national parks and sites, featuring unique designs for each year. Cut to a close-up of the 2015 quarter, showcasing the reverse design, host. In 2015, the U.S. Mint featured the Homestead National Monument of America in Nebraska on the reverse of the quarter. The design highlights the homesteading movement in American history, featuring a family plowing a field under the wide-open skies of the Great Plains. Host zooms in on the Homestead National Monument design on the reverse side of the quarter, host. It's a beautiful coin, and while the design is a great tribute to American heritage, what really makes this coin stand out isn't the design, it's the mint error that occurred during production. Cut to a close-up shot of a magnifying glass over a 2015 quarter, emphasizing the details, host. So, what's the big deal with the 2015 quarter? Well, it all comes down to a rare minting error that occurred during the production of some of these coins. There was a specific batch of 2015 quarters that were struck with a double strike error. But it wasn't just any double strike, it was a misaligned double strike, which caused the design to be printed twice, but at slightly different angles. Host zooms in on the quarter, showing where the misalignment happens, host. Take a look here. Notice how the design appears twice, with a slight shift between the two impressions? That's the result of a double strike error, which occurs when the coin is struck more than once by the same die, but the coin is slightly moved between strikes. Host shows another close-up of the error, emphasizing the misalignment of the design, host. While double strikes can happen from time to time, the misaligned double strike error is particularly rare and valuable, because it creates a distorted, off-center image that collectors go crazy for. This makes these specific 2015 quarters incredibly sought after. Cut to a professional coin grader examining a 2015 quarter under a loupe in a numismatic lab, host. Double strike errors like this don't happen every day. The fact that the 2015 quarter had this specific type of error makes it highly unusual. Most coins are struck once and then checked for quality. But when the coin is struck twice with slight misalignment, it leads to a design that's not only distorted but also unique. Each misaligned strike can be slightly different from the next. Host holds up an example of a normal 2015 quarter next to one with the misaligned double strike error, host. Here's a regular 2015 quarter. The design is crisp and clear, with a single, centered strike. But when you find a misaligned double strike, the image becomes off-center and distorted, adding a layer of rarity and intrigue. This is what makes the coin so valuable to collectors. Cut to footage of a busy coin auction with collectors enthusiastically bidding on coins, host. Now, let's talk about why collectors are so eager to get their hands on these rare double strike quarters. In the world of numismatics, error coins are incredibly sought after, especially those with misalignments or double strikes. The more unusual and unique the error, the higher the demand among collectors, and the higher the price they're willing to pay. Host shows a display case with several graded 2015 double strike error quarters, host. Because of the rarity of these double strike error coins, collectors are willing to pay top dollar. The 2015 Homestead National Monument quarter with a misaligned double strike is a coin that collectors would fight for at auctions. The rarity and uniqueness of this error make it a prized possession for anyone who specializes in U.S. coinage. Cut to a dramatic close-up of an auction paddle being raised as a bid increases rapidly, host. So, how much could your 2015 double strike error quarter be worth? The value of these coins can vary depending on their condition, but a well-preserved coin with this rare mint error can be worth an astounding $59,000. Host holds up the coin with excitement, emphasizing the dollar amount, host. That's right, $59,000 for a single 2015 quarter with a misaligned double strike. From a coin worth just 25 cents when it was originally minted, that's an incredible return for anyone lucky enough to find one of these rarities. Cut to the host carefully examining a 2015 quarter with a loupe, pointing out key areas to check for the error. Host, wondering how to spot a 2015 double strike error quarter? First, you'll want to closely examine the obverse side of the coin, look for any signs of the design being doubled or misaligned. Pay attention to the portrait of George Washington and the inscription around it. The doubled design should appear slightly out of place, often with a visible shift between the two strikes. Zoom in on the coin, clearly showing the misalignment. Host, also, look for the date and the Liberty text. These areas are where the misalignment tends to be most noticeable. And remember, if you spot a misaligned double strike on your 2015 quarter, you could be holding onto a coin that's worth a small fortune. Cut to the host flipping through a stack of coins and checking each one carefully. Host, coin collecting is all about finding hidden treasures, and sometimes, those treasures are right in front of you. Whether it's a jar of old coins, a box you inherited, or even loose change you've had for years, always take a moment to inspect your coins. You never know when you'll find a rare mint error like this 2015 double strike quarter. Host stands in front of the camera, holding the 2015 double strike error quarter proudly in a protective display case. Host, and that's a wrap on today's coin hunt. If you have a 2015 quarter, be sure to check it carefully for that misaligned double strike. You could be sitting on a $59,000 treasure. I hope you enjoyed learning about this rare find. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more incredible coin discoveries. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting.